allow Jermaine to return to his seat. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, councillors, executive mayor councillors, aldermen, and directors, audience in the gallery, and the larger community via live stream. I will ask the Whip of Council to open for us. And Whip, I want you also to pray for everybody. I'm glad to see our director and Chief Whip of the ANC is also back, and she looks very beautiful today. She's back to her old health. Councillor Mama Ball is absent today because her daughter was taken up, admitted to hospital last night. So there is a big influence of the influenza currently in the region. Chief Whip of Council.
Kom ons bid net saam. Vader, ons sê vir u baie dankie vir hierdie geleentheid. Here, waar ons vanmiddag na u toe kom om vir u baie dankie te sê vir hierdie geleentheid waar ons as 'n raad by mekaar kan kom. Here, om die issues en die probleme en ook Here ons vooruitgang Here te bespreek in hierdie raadsvergadering. Baie dankie vir hierdie dag. Dankie vir u seëninge wat u elke dag mildelik op ons uitstort, op ons communities uitstort, Here. Here, daar's vloe en daar's verskillende goed in die ligte, Here. Ek wil bid, Here, dat u vandag elkeen sal aanraak met u kosbare bloed, Here. Dankie, Here, vir die virusse wat u ook onder u beheer sal vat, my koning. Ek sê vir u baie dankie vir dit. Here, dankie vir elkeen wat vandag in hierdie vergadering sit. Ek wil bid dat u hulle sal beskerm met u kosbare bloed. Gee ons 'n nodige wisdom, Here, om besluite te maak namens ons community, my koning. Here, ons dink aan ons kollegas wat siek is. Ek wil bid, Here, spesifiek vir Mama Bolo, Alderman Mama Bolo, wat kind in die hospitaal is. Ek wil bid dat u saam met ons sal wees. Here, ons bid vir ons breë community hier buitekant, Here, waar ons mense aan die dood afgestaan het, dat u vandag ook sal intree en ook u hand aan mense sal bewys, my koning. Here, ek wil in elkeen dink vandag, Here, wat siek is, Here, wat koors het, Here, ek wil bid dat u vandag, Here, die hand, Here, van geregtigheid oor ons elkeen sal hou. Seën hierdie dag verder en ek bid dit in Jesus naam. Amen.
Amen.
Dankie, raadslid Skeppers. Dan can I ask the Chief of Public Safety to just do the safety protocol for us? Thank you.
Okay. I'll try my best, Speaker, Director. Good afternoon, all protocol observed. I'm Officer Latergan. I'm responsible for the safety of all councillors inside council chambers and for the visitors in the visiting area. Myself will do the evacuation procedure from inside council chambers, and Mr. Christians will conduct it from the visitors area. All visitors, please, when you want to use the bathroom, please let Mr. Christians escort you accordingly. Okay, thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Officer Latergan. Then I'm at official announcements. I haven't received anything from the mayor. Do you have anything?
Yes,
Okay, all right. Okay. Councillors, then I would just like to also inform council. I think everybody has heard of it, and I want to, from council, also convey our condolences to Alderman Johanna Stoffels with the passing of her son, Dr. Andre Stoffels, whose memorial service will be tonight in Hopefield. She was the very first executive mayor of Saldanha Bay Municipality after the amalgamation, and she's very much active in the community of Hopefield. I know that her son's loss is a very big loss to herself. And I want to say thank you to Alderman Koen that has visited her together with me last week on Friday. So let's also keep her and the family in the prayers. He will be laid to rest in Cape Town with his new family that he had when he married and left Hopefield. So also, Alderman Stoffels, please know that this council acknowledge your loss, acknowledge you as a person and for what you have done previously for this community and still do. Thank you, councillors. Councillors, then I'm at leave of absence. Formal leave of absence has been received by Alderman Mamabolo and Councillor Komani. Councillor Komani is currently in the Eastern Cape with family matters, but she is also not well. And then, and then Director Harun Sheikh is also off sick. Thank you. Councillors, confirmation of the minutes of the mayoral committee meeting on the 28th of May, the council meeting of the 28th of May. Proposal and a secondment, please. Thank you. The whip of council proposed and Councillor van der Merwe second. Unanimously adopted. Thank you. Then declaration of interest with regards to matters for this agenda. None. Yours is missing the yellow pages. Okay. Then on the control list, there is currently nothing outstanding. Then there is the minutes of the Water Monitoring Technical Committee meetings held on the 21st of May. Any questions for clarity with regards to that? That's just for notification. This is the WCDM committee meeting. Thank you. Then feedback from the West Coast District Municipality. The administration has shared the water and dam levels of the WCDM that was shared. It seems like after the lots of rains we received, we as a district, we are quite good with regard to our water status currently. Then I'm at the item 5/6. The Executive Mayor will propose item 16 up until 55. Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I proposed adoption.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Okay, portfolio item 11/5/2026, economic development. On the current agenda, it's item 51/6/2026, and it relates to the SIU investigation. Through you, Madam Speaker, administration indicated the portfolio committee meeting that the SIU investigation relating to the previous tourism association was nearing completion and that recovery processes were already underway. Can administration provide council with an update on the current status of the SIU investigation? Has the municipality received any interim findings, preliminary reports, recommendations or directives from the SIU? And if so, what are the implications for council and the tourism sector? Administration advised the portfolio committee that recovery processes were underway. Can clarity be provided on the nature of recovery processes, the value of any funds being recovered, whether any recoveries have already been concluded, and whether any further legal action is anticipated? What is the expected timeline for the finalization of the SIU investigation and the submission of the final report to the municipality? Are there any outstanding actions required from the municipality that may affect the completion of the investigation or implementation of its recommendations? Given that council is being requested to support the initiation of a process to appoint a destination marketing company, can administration confirm whether there are any legal, governance, procurement, or risk considerations arising from the SIU investigation that council should be aware of before proceedings? Administration, what governance? Okay, administration also indicated that budget provisions has already been made for the possible appointment of an entity in the next financial year. Can administration confirm whether this remains the intention and whether such a process is dependent on receipt of the final SIU report? What governance, safeguards, oversight mechanisms, and procurement controls will be implemented to ensure that any future tourism entity or thing does not. Is amper klaar, Madam Speaker?
Councillor, I'm looking at the item now, and I want to understand now, me and you have got the same agenda in front of us. Councillor, the questions you raise here, where do you get
It stems out of the portfolio committee, Madam Speaker.
Okay, so
That were held, the previous portfolio committees that were held. So this question stems out of that, Madam Speaker,
it's
and it relates to the SIU investigation. So that is the questions that I'm raising here because it relates to that. Can I proceed, Madam Speaker?
just hang on a second. Because I'm looking at the strategy, so I want to understand why was all of this discussed in the portfolio under the strategy. It's fine, continue, Councillor, it's fine.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Where was I lost? What governance, safeguards, oversight mechanisms, and procurement controls will be implemented to ensure that any future tourism entity or destination company does not expose the municipality to the same risks that gave rise to the original SIU investigation? Has the administration conducted a risk assessment of the proposed tourism governance model following the SIU investigation, and will such assessment be made available to Council before any appointment is concluded? And lastly, Madam Speaker, can administration provide assurance that all lessons arising from the SIU process have been incorporated into the draft tourism strategy and the proposed institutional arrangements going forward? Then, Madam Speaker, Council has been informed that the SIU investigation is nearing completion and that the recovery processes are already underway before Council proceeds with the decisions that may ultimately lead to the appointment of the new destination marketing company or similar external tourism structure. It is prudent that Council received a clear update on the status of the investigation, any findings already made, the extent of recoveries achieved, and any governance risks that remain outstanding. Council has the fiduciary responsibility to ensure that public funds are protected and that any future tourism structures are established on a foundation of sound governance, transparency, accountability, and compliance. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Can you respond in 1 minute, please? He took up all your time. Right.
The bylaw does allow for a motion of questions so that we can have all of the questions beforehand so that we can give a proper answer and a proper response. I didn't catch all of that. We are quite willing to get that from the member or the councillor later on and give a response. Remember, this is not the SIU answers to the minister, to the president. So in other words, until they completed all of those processes, we cannot give you any answers accordingly. We do know that there is a process of recovery that the SIU has started. We have been responded. We are one of the respondents, but it is not with us. It is with other institutions. We are taking into account that we cannot do the stuff the same way and get to the same question or the same problem. So we will definitely, and that's why we started with a tourism strategy that will flow out into the appointment of the destination marketing and so forth. So there should be a point on its own that is in committee, since this is still not officiated by the office of the by the SIU, but we are quite willing to share with you what we have. If we can maybe just get all of those questions pertinently so that we can answer accordingly, because this is it is too much for us to answer on that.
Thank you, Imim. And then need to address the councillors also. If you look at the item itself, I cannot see why it was allowed about the SIU. Everybody knows the SIU report to the president and the president only. Council even get the documentation after it was published, then council will see the report. So, and the MMS now alluded to where the process is. We don't know. It's their process. So, and we can't. So, and I see in the minutes, questions was raised in the portfolio committee, and I have a problem with that. Because the item was dealing with a strategy. Yes, there was a process, and it was flawed, and it was questionable, and there's an investigation. Let the investigation conclude, and then everybody will be informed. So let's not jump to conclusions here. Thank you, Councillor Morrison. Any other questions or clarity on any other items?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will forward the questions to the MM. The other thing that I want to address, Madam Speaker, would be the appeals, Madam Speaker, on the item 55. There's a few appeals there, Madam Speaker. I just want to...
Councillor, it's a delegated authority. There's nothing we can change on any of those decisions. Am I right, MM?
I just want to have a comment on these appeals, Madam Speaker, and specifically on, there's a house shop in Saldanha Bay, and then there's also a gym in Langebaan that appeal failed.
Yeah.
So,
Councillor, what did you not understand? Councillor, that is for notification for council. There's a decision already made. Thank you. Councillors, the executive mayor has proposed up until item 55. Before I go to addendum 1 of the white agenda, can I have a secondment? Alderman Vaughan has seconded. Thank you. Items then unanimously adopted. Thank you, councillors. I will now go to item 1 of the white agenda, addendum 1, and it's item 62/6. Municipal buildings and terrains can because it was something that was delayed by the administration. It's in my ward. You may continue with your question, councillor.
thank you, Madam Speaker. Item 62, which is a donation of a portion of farm 123/19, the Klip Groen Kloof. What is the estimated total cost exposure over the next 3 years, Madam Speaker? Stormwater obligation. And then one of the donors' conditions requires SBM to provide sufficient stormwater drainage to prevent water accumulation. This could become expensive if engineering works are required later. Has engineering services estimated the cost of compliance? Council is therefore approving acquisition before knowing asset value, transfer cost, engineering cost, maintenance liability, and then public participation. No public participation took place because this is an acquisition rather than disposal. Legally acceptable, but residents affected by the road was not consulted. The substantive issues are in Council Addendum 62/6/2026. And the concerns, Madam Speaker, would be that the municipality accepting future financial liability. The donor transfers the land for free, but SBM assumes surveying costs, subdivision costs, transfer costs, rezoning costs, future maintenance, future stormwater infrastructure, future upgrades of the road. The report specifically notes these costs are not currently budgeted for and will have to be provided for in future budgets. So, with that being said, Madam Speaker, that is with regards to that item. Can I continue with the other two? All right.
Councillor, thank you. It seems you didn't understand the discussion object of the item. This is something what the council must do. The development is long established. This is one of the things that was left behind and not completed. So that developer has paid everything, and this was not completed. A no fault to the current administration because that development has been there for more than 20 years. Director Maliswana, must Mr. Pfeiffer respond? It's not necessary. Will you respond?
Speaker, I think you've covered everything. This is an obligation. There was a development as part of the condition of the development. That piece of land was supposed to be transferred. It's true that it's being transferred as part of the donation to council. Yes, the comments that are being read here are from finance to alert the line function to take that is going to take that responsibility. Definitely it will be budgeted as part of the normal operations of the budget. There's no extra cost. If there was an extra cost, we'll have indicated here. So definitely if you take a transfer, you're bound to, because it's a donation, we must pay all the transfer costs related to that. So we've indicated that we've got the budget to do that. As administration, we're going to handle that. I think that's a donation transferred through the donation that is allowed by the policy, that is allowed by MATA. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Director. I've had a proposal and a second one. No objections. Item unanimously adopted. Thank you. Then the second item.
Item 63, Madam Speaker.
I haven't acknowledged you yet, Councillor. My mouse is stuck here. I need to go to the item. This is with regards to Lowell. Lowell High requested this to address the safety that's currently happening of the learners and the teachers. And so they wrote a request to the administration, and that's why the item is here in front of me. Of us, Councillor Morrison.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Like me, ek praat alleen vandag. Item 63. Oh, you also wanted to say something, Councillor? So, okay, no problem. You can go. You can go, Councillor. You can. No, you may go. You may go, Councillor, or so, and then I'll continue afterwards. No problem.
Thank you. Let me get up. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Our viewers, our people at home, I hope you're having a wonderful day. God is good. My colleagues, you're like, I'm by nice, very sweet. I like you today. And then, Madam Speaker, no, always. Remember something, Councillor. I don't have to like you, but I love you with the love of God. Ne? There's a difference. Sometimes you make me angry and then I don't like you, but I love you all the time. Madam Speaker, the ANC welcomes this. There's been a lot of violence around our schools, and we come here every single time and we complain about our children that are not safe, and we complain about everything that is happening, and we are now taking a step into not speaking but doing something. So we welcome this. I used to work at the school. I used to work with the children. I know what happens, and one life lost of a child is one too many. So we welcome this, and we are grateful because the learners of Lowville and Western and Panorama will now be safe because they will not be able to fight as they do. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Whip. Councillor Morrison.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Hopefully, I'll be so sleggy, Councillor. So, Madam Speaker, yeah, with regards to that Lowville upgrade, so to call it, I just wanted to know, has a traffic impact assessment been conducted? And then were the surrounding residents consulted? Here we come again to public participation. And what safeguards prevents similar future requests? Is the maintenance responsibility contractually secured? Madam Speaker, if these
Councillor,
concerns,
you can continue. We want to hear why you are against approving.
no,
that.
I'm not
You can
against
continue.
it.
Thank you.
I'm not against it, Madam Speaker. I'm simply posing questions, and it's relevant. It's relevant questions. If it's irrelevant, then you can strike me as irrelevant. But I'm still busy questioning it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Beecher.
Greetings, everyone,
afternoon, sir.
on the panel, councillors, and executive mayor. We welcome. We are supporting that proposal of the school for quite some time. There was some illegal activities happening on school, so we are supporting, because why we support at the same time is our kids that are there. So we need to take this thing very seriously, not as the councillors, as the fathers and the mothers are sitting here. We need to take this thing very seriously. And at the same time, we will be there. It's not only the school, we will be there if this process go on, to make sure everything goes smooth as the councillors. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Director, there is a recommendations and it says what must happen next. So there's still a lot of things that needs to happen, because remember, this is the land belongs to MP, the National Department of Public Works. But at least we started the process that the school wants to safeguard their children. Director Mbaliswana.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I think this item needs to be clarified, Speaker, so that when the fence or something is not being done, it's not reflecting to us. The school is a tenant, and Department of Western Cape Department of Education is a tenant. The land belongs to National Department of Public Works. So what we're doing as council, we're taking the one step from our side to say we are willing to go forward. But the owner of the land and the owner of the school must start the process before they do anything. We know, so what we're going to do, we're going to provide is a way of supporting the school in their quest to say, we have agreed as a council to say you can take this portion of land, you can attach it to your own land. Here's a council decision. So the school is going to start going forward. It doesn't mean that if we approve it here, the school is going to start fencing the place. If the national department is taking too long, we'll have to find another way, like in terms of matter, in terms of the lease. We can lease it to the school, maybe to the Western Cape department to fence it. Because we know with the national department, so they will have to start their own fight. We're going to provide to say, as council, we have approved to say, council has granted an approval in terms of you can protect, you can do everything. But the owners now will be with the owner of the land and the school to go forward. Thank you, Speaker. I think I wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Director Mbaliswana. There was a proposal and a secondment. Councillor Morrison.
Madam Speaker, I just want to clarify. The questions I posed are simply because we cannot come here again with MFMAs and findings and things, and tomorrow it's in the newspapers and stuff. So the questions are relevant. It does not say, however, that we are not supporting it. We are supporting it because safety comes first, especially when it comes to our children. So I just needed to clarify that. We're in full support of what? Because the safety of our children and teachers comes first.
Councillor, again, it seems you didn't read or understand the whole item and the discussion and even the recommendations and even the explanation by the director. Councillors, thank you. The item was unanimously adopted with the concerns raised by the Councillor Morrison. Item 64, I gave permission for this addendum to come because it's needed. Our communities out there has delayed applying timelessly to renew their indigent applications or even come and apply. Councillors, before I ask for a proposal and a secondment, I want to ask all of us also to continue encouraging people to come assist the elderly or the frail, or sometimes people are also shy and ashamed that they must come and apply. Please assist them, because it helps the municipality also, so because we get the equitable share from national government so that people can have the indigent on their accounts. Can I have a proposal and a secondment? Councillor Jackson propose and Deputy Mayor second. Thank you, councillors. Councillors, thank you very much. We are now done with the white agenda. I want to say thank you to the people in the gallery and the audience at home. We will now go over to the yellow pages. We will allow the live stream to be cut and the gallery to be vacated first. Thank you.